Hi, welcome to the Paige family homestead. Today we're baking bread. Yep, two different kinds of yeast. We're using traditional and fast acting. I think I like the traditional, but let's wait and see. This is the best bread ever. Come and join us. So let's make this bread. Now I sent Andy to the grocery store. I told him I needed some more flour. We're retired, so we get paid once a month, right? Pensioners. So we do the bulk of our shopping, like a lot of you all do, once a month. So he brought me home flour. So I got lots and lots of it. So I'm going to be doing another video after this one. Today I'm going to be doing some dry oven canning. Brain stutter. Anyway, let's get on to the bread. So excuse all the flour jars you're gonna see and everything. I got two projects on the go. This bread, I've been told, needs to be the daily bread. So looks like we're gonna be making it instead of buying it from now on. I sent Andy for my yeast. He wasn't sure which one. So I always use a traditional, and he also got me quick rise. I need to make 4 loaves because we have grandchildren and a son coming over for dinner today. And well, you can't come to grandma's and go home empty-handed. So I'm going to send them home with some bread. But I've never used the quick rise before, to my knowledge anyway. So I'm going to show you at the end of the video what the difference is between the two. Okay, so what we're going to start with, we want the water to be 110-ish. I look for warm water. I just use the finger test. I don't thermometer it. You don't want it hot because we are going to be putting yeast in there. And if you have it too hot, it will actually kill the yeast. So what I had was 4 tablespoons of sugar. That's a lot, but this is so good. It's going to make 2 loaves, okay? I've got here 1.5 tablespoons of the traditional active dry yeast, and that's by Fleischmann's. Pretty much standard. Now I'm just going to give this up with Andy's man tool.
Man tool?
Yeah. A little turnover. I just want to stir that sugar in, let it dissolve in the water, and it's actually feeding the yeast. So we're going to let this, I'm just stirring to make sure the sugar dissolves. We're going to let the yeast and the sugar do their magic with the warm water. It's called bloom. And we're waiting for it to all get a little bubbly in there. And that means our yeast is good. And we will have a successful dough. So I'm going to let it sit 5-10 minutes. Probably 10 because it's a little cool in the house today. It is February. So I'll be back in 10 minutes. Okay, so now we have a nice, beautiful, healthy bloom with our yeast. If you want to come in, this sat for about 8 minutes, but that's good. I got lots to do. Let's move it. So I've got a 1/4 cup. Not you, me. Let's move it, Peggy. I've got a 1/4 cup here of extra virgin olive oil. I'm not doing a commercial, so I'm going to throw that in. Raise it up. Where are you? Here we go. God, standing on the wrong angle that I usually use. Just going to mix that a bit. I've got a 1.5 teaspoons of sea salt. I've always been taught not to introduce salt directly to yeast because it can inhibit its growth. So, old wives' tale, I don't know. I was taught that way. That's what I'm doing. So I've got 5 cups of bread flour. I'm going to add them in a cup at a time. Last time took 5.5 cups. The recipe calls for 6. I just used the other 1/2 cup for lightly dusting and doing a last minute knead. Wasn't really needed. I don't want it. You don't want your dough too dry because that gives you a really dense, heavy loaf. And if this one goes like it did the other day, which got Andy singing the praises, it will be a nice soft crust.
Oh, it's good.
A nice light, firm but light crumb. And when you pick it up, it's like, where is it? It's just, oh, perfect for sandwiches. Perfect.
Sandwiches.
So I haven't quite got that in yet. I know this is a rice paddle, but it works. I'm just going to scrape it down. It would get it, but I'm just helping it along. And it gives me an indication of how things are going. Back on to number 2. Now, I do only use the machine when I'm having a rough arthritic day because I still get so much joy out of hand kneading. It's important to learn how to do it by hand. I always go to the 100 count when kneading by hand. With this, it's 10 minutes. By hand, I usually count to 100 kneads, and it usually gets it in. You learn by doing and by feeling, you know. So this is the last of my 5 cups. I still have, according to the recipe, 1 cup to go. But I like to keep that on reserve because depending on the humidity in the area and your particular day, if it's raining or... I don't know what all the variables are. I should look that up. But I know it does. Some days it'll take 5.5. Other times recipes want the full amount. And who knows why? I don't know the scientific reason why. So last time took 5.5, not the full 6. So I'm just going to keep it here in hand a minute. What I want to see is that the dough is picking everything up off the bottom of the bowl. I want it to be still somewhat sticky. You can see it here on my fingers.
Yeah.
But not quite that sticky. So I might just feed it a little bit more. But I don't want dry. So that was a 1/4 cup. We're still under our 6. So right now we have 5 1/4 cups. And you really can't go by what I'm doing. You really gotta learn to play with the dough and feel it. And on a rainy day or a real cold day, I try not to. Oh, by the way, my stove. Since I started the bloom, I've got my oven light on because we do have an older home, so it's not cold, but it's winter here. So the oven light's on, and what I do is I put them in my pre-buttered pans. This is an old one and a favorite. And put them in the oven to preheat with a 2-cup measuring glass Pyrex filled with kettle water to help it along, right? No heat in the oven, just the oven light and that water. So I'm going to let this knead now for 10 minutes. I think we're okay for flour, and I'll bring you back. Okay, so that's been going for 10 minutes. I just lightly dusted the counter here. Can't wait till I get it proper on so I can work on that. This is beautiful. I want to get a good shot in here, honey.
Yeah, okay.
You can see it's picked it all up there off the sides and off the bottom. Such a nice dough to work with. Unplug the machine before we do this. Accidents happen.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Get this out of the way. Look at that.
Oh,
still slightly
beautiful.
Sticky, not bad. I'm just going to keep this for a minute. I'll be using it. Okay. Look at this. Beautiful dough.
Yeah.
So by kneading by hand, you want to work the palm of your hand. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So by hand you do that like 100 times.
100 times, right? It's pretty needy, eh?
It's so therapeutic. put on some good tunes and
Yeah.
just work out the frustrations of your life. Best bread ever. So, just going to cut into the flour, cut it into two. Make a nice little ball with it. These 2 loaves.
Yep.
It'll be nice. Little ball.
Smack them in the bum.
Yeah. The other one. We're going to let them sit and rest for about 5 minutes before we shape them and put them in the pan. So, see you. Oh, I'm just going to cover it. I want to keep some of that nice yeast heat. I'm going to leave it right here for 5 little minutes and we'll be back. Okay, so the dough balls have rested for 5 minutes. It's important to let your gluten yeast rest so that we can move it around, right? You can over knead it and that will become very tough dough. So you really, if you're doing it by hand, please just play with it. You're going to have some failures, but you're soon going to have success. Just look at that dough. Like,
Beautiful.
that would pass a window pane test. Window pane test. Let's try it.
What's a window pane test?
For real?
You gonna throw it at the window?
No!
Oh.
Okay, so we take our dough. We just want to spread it.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like you can spread it and see through it without it breaking.
Oh, cool.
That's a good dough.
Oh, wow, really? Eh?
Yeah.
I had no idea. See, you learn something new every day.
So what I want to do now is just roll it out lightly to fit the pan. Get the air bubbles out. We might even hear some. This dough is awesome. If you wanted a fancy bread, you could. This is where you could put in some neat stuff, neat fillings and stuff. But I just want
Cheese.
Yeah, well, right now we just need sandwich bread.
Yes, we do. Still just a suggestion.
Yes, it was. And I'm just going to tuck in my ends as we go. Oh, pinch. When everything's sealed, yucky side's going to go down to the bottom. Won't even see it.
Oh, watch the dog behind you, Anna.
Yeah. There's one.
There's one.
Now I'm getting it ready. I'm going to start my other with the, what was it? We use traditional, your rapid yeast that you bought.
Yeah.
I'm going to try a couple of those with that. I mean, we got it. I'm going to use it.
Might as well.
We'll see at the end of the day. So I got these to do. I've got the other 2 loaves to do today. I got to get this flour dry canned. And we have grandkids coming over tonight and a son for Nacho Supreme.
Ooh,
and we're showing the house again. So, kind of busy.
Fingers crossed, everybody. Let's...
Don't even say it.
Yeah, no.
So, just going to roll it. Oh, this dough is so fun to play with, actually. Pinch it. And wait till you see what kind of magic this makes. For Andy to give up store bread, it's got to be good. Trust me.
Gotta be good. Here we go.
I've already got my measuring cup filled with kettle water in there. Getting it nice and toasty. The oven light is on. I'm going to stick these in covered with a tea towel. And actually, yeah, tea towel. And then I'm going to get you when it's all proofed. I'll bring it back.
Poofed.
Proofed. These have been proofing in the oven for 30 minutes. So this was the traditional yeast. I'm just putting a very light, don't even feel like I need to, but I'm going to. Very light coating of butter. Now down here, we have our quick yeast.
Oh, big difference, eh?
You really think so?
Yeah, this really poofed this
Well,
one.
actually, to be fair though, this one proofed for 30 minutes, that one for 45.
Oh,
so,
big difference in the size.
Yeah. But I'm going to preheat my oven now, because now I can. Turn my timer off. Preheat. 350. That's the only bad thing about using the oven as a proofer is now I have to wait for the oven to preheat. So I'm going to put them in there. I'm pretty sure it's only going to be 20 minutes. But with 4 loaves in the oven at the same time, I'll bring you back and let you know. Okay? See you soon. These 2 loaves were the traditional yeast in your standard size pan. Same dough with the quick yeast. However, this did proof 15 minutes longer. And these are odd sized pans. So the comparison isn't going to be by sight, that's for sure, because to be fair, they weren't proofed at the same time. I think I like this one better than the traditional.
So. But I think I'll torture myself and eat them anyway.
Well, 2 are for you and 2 are for our son.
Oh, okay. Give him those ones.
I'm gonna actually now, because of that, let him pick. Look at this.
Oh, look at that.
Look.
That's
listen.
beautiful.
Listen.
Yeah.
Okay. Now listen.
Nice and light.
Look how soft this
Oh,
is.
beautiful.
Look.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Now we like a soft crust, so I'm going to wrap these with a tea towel and let them cool. Naturally, it makes a beautiful sandwich bread. Okay, still getting some air underneath the rack.
I like that. That is
Now
nice.
these ones, let's have a look.
Yep.
Suki.
Yeah, nice.
And soft.
Yep, that is beautiful.
Whoops, stay there. They're hot.
Yeah. Therefore we are. Nice, really nice bag.
And my other tea towels right here. Now, what I've done, last time I made this bread, and listen to our dog, I swear. Last time I made this bread, I froze a loaf on purpose. I just put this in the oven just for a few seconds. This was frozen. This was from the last time. And I wanted to see if it was going to hold up good for me, because I don't want to make bread every day if I don't have to. So let's see if it still is nice thawed from frozen.
Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. Nice.
I think this is the bread for us, baby. Look at this. It's still kind of frozen.
Is it?
But it'll work. Some breads, when you
good.
freeze them and thaw them out again, they're just...
Right. That looks really good.
So I'm
impressed.
gonna put a pause. This is our next loaf to eat. I'm gonna put a pause, and I'm gonna bring you back when they are totally cooled, and show you the slice and the crumb and the crust. See in a bit. Okay, let's have a look. So these are the quick yeast. This is like squeezing a baby's bottom. It just no other way to look. What a beautiful loaf.
Nice.
So we're going to keep one of these and one of the others, okay? Because I have to cut into one of each. So let's have a look. It's still warm, but it'll give us an idea.
Ooh, look at that. Nice.
Look.
Oh, nice.
Look at the crumb.
Isn't that, that's really nice. I like that.
Oh,
Oh,
smell.
Oh, nice.
And look.
They jump straight back. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. That is nice.
So I'm going to let that cool some more. And now, one of the traditional. I like the traditional, but it's not as heavy for some reason. But then too, don't forget, it's a different size pan.
That's right,
So
yes.
I'm just used to this, right?
Yep.
Go with what you're used. They both worked. Oh.
Oh, wow. Look at that. That is perfect.
sandwich bread.
Yep.
And look.
Wow. Beautiful.
Bobby Lee, our eldest granddaughter, is making bread. And still in her teens. I'm so proud of her. She made French bread. I know adults who have never made bread. Go. I'd like you to make this recipe. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. And our oldest grandson, Seth, is a homemade breadaholic because of his other nanny. She's an amazing baker. And maybe, Seth, you could kind of bribe Bobby Lee into making you a loaf. They live far away.
Seth.
Love you guys. So now, Bobby Lee, you've got the perfect recipe, no fail. Go with the traditional yeast. Everybody, go with what you're used to. All right. I want to thank you for joining us today. And don't forget to like, hit that subscribe if you haven't already, and share on social media. And I love your comments. Feedback's important. All right. Thank you for the visit. We appreciate you.